Hey guys, welcome back to Electric Cafe. Today's album review is on Nitzer Ebb's uh, Total Age from 1987. This is their Geffen release, which I guess is their promo since it has the promotional sticker on there. But the cool thing about this album is it adds Warsaw Ghetto to the track list, which I think really completes the album really well. I can't imagine this album without Ghetto. Like I feel like this album obviously has four huge, or with with Warsaw Ghetto has four huge industrial classics on it, and I really feel like without Warsaw Ghetto, that three would be kind of might feel like there's more holes on the album, but based on how they do the track list it seems like every couple songs has a huge hit, which really helps the overall flow of the album. But yeah, Nitzer Ebb, I got a chance to see them opening for Depeche Mode in 1990 at Dodger Stadium. That's when they really that's when I first got a chance to hear them, and I went straight out and bought Belief, which was the album they were supporting, and then I think Showtime came out that year as well. And yeah, I just became a huge fan right away. Like I got I got a chance to see them last time they come, and that was really cool because um, my brother had got a chance to see them, and we kind of got last minute. We got a chance to see them. I think it was 2000. It was right before the pandemic. It was when David Gooday came back in 2018 for that tour. Um, which was really cool. So it made that show extra special. Um, but I mean, if you ever get a chance to see somebody industrial band live, I think it behoove of you to see Nitzer Ebb at least once in your lifetime. Like their songs go over live so much better than a lot of industrial bands do. It's actually, in my opinion, they're better live than a studio album. There's not a lot of bands that I would say that about. Um, as far as the energy, even in industrial music, I mean, like Skinny Puppy, yeah, they're great live, but I think they're equally as good um, in the studio, thanks to Kevin Key and Dwayne Gotel. But Skinny Puppy's probably my all-time favorite industrial band. But Nitzer Ebb, one of my favorites too, is like I feel like their music is more so appreciated in live atmosphere than really an album. And I feel probably that's why, because there's a rawness and a groove to their music and their rhythms where I think they're a little bit more towards techno, maybe a little bit more towards EBM than Skinny Puppy is, or even, or I mean, you can really only compare Nitzer Ebb to somebody like Front 242 when it comes to like the classic EBM sound. Um, that it has the groove and the rhythms where it works better live than in the studio, and in a live atmosphere, a DJ atmosphere, a club atmosphere. Their stuff works even better. So yeah, I'm gonna review this album, each song, and give each song a score, and then review the overall album and give it a score. So again, this is their first album, which came out in 1987. Um, First track, "Fitness to a Purpose," is actually my least liked song on the album, which is strange how it starts with that. Don't really have too much good to say about it. I've never heard this one live. Maybe it's better live. Maybe that's there is a little bit of this when I was going in and rating the song, which I do for like rave music, and you kind of put yourself into context, and that like if you weren't around for like warehouse raves in like 92 or 93, 94, 95, or even in the UK in the late 80s, like back when they had started like acid house raves. If you listen to acid house, or you listen to like some of the early rave, like hardcore music or early jungle, or techno, or a lot of the rave music, like if you weren't there for that, it's kind of hard to put yourself in that mindset to kind of like to listen to a rave track that's that old and like kind of appreciate it on that level. And I think going through this album and trying to rate it, I did kind of have that feeling that maybe I haven't heard this album, this song live. Does it go over better live than it does on the album? Is that like I feel like Fitness to a Purpose. I gave it a star, I gave it 1.5 star. It's better than okay, but I wouldn't say it's good. But does it go over better live? Probably. If I heard it live, and then maybe I went, and then went to the album. I don't know. I don't know. It's never really like been a good opener. Usually I go straight to track two, Warsaw Ghetto, um, which I think is a classic song. I was really kind of borderline on 4 stars, for Warsaw Ghetto. I really love the bass line. It's funky. It's sung really cool. It's catchy and smooth. I like the end when it kind of fades out, which is really cool. Um, I, I ended up settling on 3 and 3/4 stars. I feel like it's really close to excellent, but I felt like I couldn't quite put it there because of some of the other songs on here that I do feel are excellent. Violent Playground, it's a good track. I don't really have too much good to say. I mean, too much to say about it either. Um, I think when Nitzer Ebb kind of nail it, they really nail it. But they do have a lot of like good tracks, that sort of sound like other good tracks, and they don't really necessarily stick out. Violent Playground is kind of that track for me. And then you have Murderous, which is, a classic, another classic, high energy. It's an anthem. It's great to play live. Here's the single here. Um, I think it has the extended version on here. Um, I gave it 3 and 3/4 stars as well, it's equal to Warsaw Ghetto. I couldn't really pick which one I like better. Murderous it's an anthem. I mean, it's a bass line, the vocals. Don't be lazy. Just it's like such an infectious vocal and so powerful and. But equally, Warsaw Ghetto is. I really like the more subdued but smoother, but equally as catchy songs. I have them both 3 and 3/4. I couldn't decide on which one I like better when I was kind of comparing their rating. Smear Body, I feel like is a little underrated. I really like the track. It's good bass line, energetic, gets into a nice groove. I wouldn't say it's a very good track though. I got it 2.5 stars, right in between there. And then you got Joining the Chant, which is a all-time classic EBM track on so many levels. What can you say about Joining the Chant? Just a legendary track. I got it 4.5 stars. Just one of the best EBM tracks of all time. Um, 4.5 stars. Wow, that's a good rating. It's a good song, man. It's a great song. I don't know what else to say. It's Joining the Chant. All you can say is just an amazing song. Um, Alarm. I like the beat, but it's kind of minimal. Kind of nice change of pace. Um, I like the energy in the track. It's a little repetitive on the vocals, but I think it's a good track overall. I got 2.5 stars. And then Let Your Body Learn, another great track. Another classic EBM track. Driving. It's a really driving track. The lyrics are good. The rhythm is nice and crisp and tight. It's my second favorite track on there. 4.25 stars. I got it right under Joining the Champ, but just a little bit above Murderous and Warsaw Ghetto. Um, it's amazing track again. Track number 9, Let Beauty Loose. Solid driving track. Got it 2.5 stars. And Into the Large Air. Good overall song. I got it 2 stars as well. So definitely a lot of highs and a lot of mids on this. I got 4 amazing tracks, 5 good tracks, and 1 below average. 1 okay. That's kind of the overall. But just this album has some classic material. I mean, just Join the Chant, Let Your Body Learn, Murderous, Warsaw Ghetto. Like, how can I not rate this album fairly strong? You know, how can I only say this is a good album when it almost has four EBM classics on it? You know, I think the engineering is really strong. Phil Harding did a really good job also producing on this album. Um, yeah, he's a good engineer. Phil Harding's a good engineer. He's has a lot of album uh, shout outs, or you know, what do you call it, album when they're listed on the album notes or album credits. That's what he has a lot of good album credits if you look at Phil Harding's career. Um, the opportunities of the album, parts are better than the sum. Um, you know, because there's five good tracks and one less than good track. So, and then you have four basically that average out to excellent. You know, just those are amazing. When I when I add up the stars per song, it's add up the stars is 28 and a half stars divided by 10 songs is 2.85. So it's right under very good. That's kind of puts it that kind of puts it around 68, 69, right? But I gave it some extra points because of this album. I wanted to put it into a very good. I feel like it's a very good album because of those classics. Again, I don't. You know, it's interesting to. I don't know if there's any be any. I mean, I take that back. I did rate. You know, there is some front. There is some. I think for overall for an album, front 242 does better overall albums in my opinion than Nitzer Ebb does. But Nitzer Ebb has some classic songs. But because they're so classic, I feel like I couldn't put it in just a good range. So I gave it some extra points just to put it into a very good. I do feel because of those four songs that it's a very good album, you know. But again, it's the parts are better than the sum, for sure. Excuse me. But I got it 71 out of 100 for the total score of the album for that total age from 1987 by Nitzer Ebb. All right, thanks for watching.